Ciao. What's up, everybody? All right, this has been a requested video, so we're going to do that today. Why and when should you move to Vietnam? And what's the benefits? Why did I move here? And what's going on? So, should be a pretty long video because we got lots of stuff to break down. Of course, if you do like this video, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so with your guys' help, we could get there. If you want to comment, that'd be great too. And yeah, if you don't like the video, there's a dislike button. You can just destroy that thing. If you do like the video, there's a up button. You can hit that one too. So whatever makes you happy, that's your choice to make. So and you don't have to subscribe either. All right. So let's break this all down. Why did I move here? Okay, so that is one of my most popular videos, is why I moved here and why you should too. So I would suggest after this going back and finding that. It'll be in my popular uploads. So if you just scroll on over to there, you'll see. But you know, there's a lot of reasons why I moved to Vietnam. And it doesn't have to be Saigon, but I picked Saigon because, you know, before COVID, the housing's very affordable. You can get like a really nice baller apartment for $5,000 to $1,000, depending on the size you need, area of location, lots of different factors. So you can get a really nice apartment. Your cost of living can be very low depending on if you're a partier or not. I mean, you can get away with spending as little as $1,000 a month if you don't do anything and just kind of stay at home. And the flights everywhere are just super cheap to go other places, you know, put my diaper on, to go other places like worldwide. So it's just like, we got some TikTokers over here. So it's like very affordable to fly. Like pre-COVID, a flight to Hong Kong was $70. You know, a flight to Japan was $250, maybe $350, etc., etc., etc. And I'm a world vlogger, so like I'm not just a Vietnamese vlogger. I've just been here, you know, not able to go anywhere for 2 years because of COVID. So also the lifestyle of living here is very great. Even if you're not traveling outside of the country, this is a great place to live for at least a few years. You'll make friends with people. People are very friendly here. It's a very easygoing place to live. You don't have to know the language but a few words to get around. You know, there's delicious food. There's so many good reasons to move here, and I really cover that stuff in other videos, so you can find those videos on popular uploads. So now the next thing I want to talk about, maybe we'll flip back to what we were just talking about, but like, when should you start planning your move? And should you be planning your move now? Should you be like getting ready to come to Vietnam right now? This depends on a lot of things. You know, if you don't mind a possible lockdown, and yeah, if you don't mind a possible lockdown, I'd say go for it. Like, you can plan to come to Vietnam. It won't be that big of a deal. It's pretty expensive to get here. This place is new. This football club. Interesting idea. It's pretty expensive to get here right now. Currently, you have to get an expert visa through a real company, sponsor letter, all that stuff, and work a real job. And or you can get here on a tourist package that you book through a travel agency, and you have to stay at a hotel in Phu Quoc, Hoi An, or Da Nang for 7 days at pretty much a 5-star hotel. And then you get issued a 30-day travel visa. And then I don't know if they're going to renew that. That's, again, this is where the situation gets weird, is I don't know how that's going to work. Like, are they going to let you just keep renewing the 30 days? It's kind of a pain to renew every 30 days on top of it. So that's one thing to look out for. The visa situation currently is very uncertain in Vietnam. So me personally, if we're going to break this down, I would not be planning to move here now or within the next 6 months. As I've been saying, even with the Omicron thing going on, I do think in January there will be a little bit more ease of being able to get here besides just a tour package. Now, I never said we're gonna open up in January. I just said there would be an easement. My timeline's always been June, July, at least the middle of next year before any kind of regular getting here. And I think a sensible visa will get issued again. Because if you can't get a long-term visa, and your only way is to like work, or you know, create like a fraudulent one through like a shell company you set up here, it's not that viable of a situation yet. So like, really the best way to come here currently is through an expert visa and a real job. Now, as far as things being open up, everything's pretty open up still. They have not been freaking out about Omicron, whatever. It barely is in the news. There's maybe 1 or 2 articles on it. Saigon did set up all the hospitals again for COVID treatment in case it is something really bad, but from the early data, from what we know on Omicron, it's just like the common flu if you're been vaccinated. And you know, in Saigon in particular, we're going to kind of focus this video in Saigon because I don't know vax rates of other cities here. So, but I can tell you, Saigon has 100% first vaccination rate and a 95% second vaccination rate. And 60% of the people in the hospital right now with COVID are not vaccinated. And then the rest are over the age of 55. Very few that are vaccinated under the age of 55 are in serious condition in the hospital. And almost all the people dying from it here are very old people with underlying illnesses. Or someone that's like obese, diabetes, blood pressure, the whole 9 yards, if you get what I'm saying. So, it's starting to make the correlation there. So, it looks like if you're fully vaxxed, we're gonna be okay. We're still not sure on this Omicron thing. Again, these are more uncertainties that I would want to know for a fact before like I start planning, you know, my new life here. I think a sensible thing, and I've been saying it forever, is kind of aim for the middle of next year. Unless you have nothing to lose and you don't mind gambling, you know, what's going to go on with your visa, etc., etc. Now the information changes literally daily. And we don't know, maybe if there's 2 to 7 cases of Omicron in Saigon, they might roll back, you know. I don't think they're ever gonna go into a hard lockdown again. They cost themselves so much money in manufacturing. They pissed off LG, they pissed off Samsung, they pissed off all these really, you know, major corporations. And you know, I'm sure behind closed doors they're like, look, we're not going to plan any more projects here if you guys continue to do this shit. You know, you've got the data, you see who's really affected. Locking everything up is terrible for our manufacturing here. We can't have that happen. So I really, really doubt we would see like a really stringent stay at home, unless you're talking like 10,000 a day cases in Saigon and people dying. So I'm pretty optimistic on not seeing another lockdown for Saigon. Now for the rest of the cities, I don't know the stats. I know Nha Trang's pretty vaccinated as well, but I haven't really researched the other ones. So I would look to other YouTubers in those areas, like somebody that's YouTubing in Da Nang about information in Hanoi, etc. So as far as that stuff goes, I think we'll be okay. Now, again, let's talk about why it's so great to live here. I mean, I love the weather. It's always 80 degrees to 100 degrees and pretty hot and humid. It's a lot like Florida. There is a thick rainy season that's about 6 months long, but it doesn't rain all day, so you're able to still go do stuff. So it's not that big of a deal. You know, if you're a single guy, you'll definitely meet women here without a problem. That won't be an issue unless you've got the wackest game. You don't even need Tinder or anything, but you can use these things. You know, this is a country where it's very easy. You know, the woman looks at you twice, go up and talk to them. I'm sure it's the same for a woman, so if a woman's watching, very easy to get a Viet guy, I'm sure. So, yeah, I mean, my timeline for when I would plan, if I'm you and I'm in America, or I'm in places that are open, you know, I would continue to buy my time in that country, make sure all my stuff's sold, make sure all my affairs are in order. If I'm looking for a job, I continue to look for jobs or maybe lock one down. And if they're willing to bring you in on like an expert visa thing, they're giving out coffee for a coffee place. If they're willing to bring you in on an expert visa, or they're giving away tea. If they're willing to bring you in on an expert visa and take care of all that stuff, for that I say go ahead. They're going to be securing your long-term visa, your TRC, all this stuff. So really this is to the people that we're used to coming here on like a tourist visa and being here for a year.
There's a man who is finding the flight from here to Russia, but still cannot find out. And so I would like to I would like to need your help to help him find the flight to Russia. Would you mind?
I don't know how to do that. Probably just the internet, man.
Internet. He's using the internet, but cannot find the proper flight because the price is very high.
I don't see too many flights going to Russia. Well, I'm filming right now, so I'll come back when I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Not gonna really go back. I don't know shit about flying to Russia. What am I gonna do? I'm sure the flights are crazy expensive, and I'm sure there's no direct flight to Russia either. I'm sure it's a multiple layover flight. He'd probably be better off in Phuquoc, where I think they're taking Phuquoc and Nha Trang. They got a bunch of Russians coming in. So again, as far as tourism here right now, only 987 people have come in so far, and I know 4 of them because they've contacted me on DM and commented in the videos. So we'll go over that real quick. So 2 of the guys already had 5-year visas, so they just had to do the 7 days, and then they were able to leave and go wherever they wanted. All 4 of them are coming to Saigon. Another guy had a 30-day tourist visa. He had to do 7 days. Then he was able to come to Saigon, and then he's got a job here, and they're gonna secure the rest of the stuff after the 30 days. So it is possible to get here. I think the cheapest one, 2,500. I can't remember. I think the DGI guys here again. They're gonna get swarmed by the security if they don't have paperwork. They do not play around with drones here. So unless you have drone paperwork, it's $400 a day to shoot, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But I think that's the DGI guy. I've talked to him before. The second you fire that thing up, dude, and they hear it, this whole security team will just come over and check the paperwork. So yeah, we're doing really well. My timeline might be a little quicker, and I might be more dead set on January still for like a pretty big opening, Asia wise. But now this Omicron and the way the news is just, I mean, America is acting like this thing's gonna wipe out the whole country. It's an absolute insanity. 24 hour before you leave international flight, you gotta get a PCR test or a COVID test. So things are changing quickly. There is no guarantees, and I've always been, I'm pessimistic and optimistic, but more optimistic. You never know when things can change. If they get a crazy flare-up of Omicron here, they are gonna shut things down to some extent, and they're gonna make it hard to get here internationally. So if you are wanting to come here now, I would go through that international thing, pay the $2,500. Look, I'm on her TikTok. She has to redo her TikTok. Doge. Whoops. But if you really want to get here, and you're going to be here for a while, and you can figure out your visa thing, and you've got a trustworthy visa agent, I'd probably do that pretty ASAP. I'd get on the next week or 2 trip, get on over here. Like I said, as long as your visa is secured in some way. And if you're a TRC holder, it's definitely an easy way to get here. It's not cheap, $2,500 to $4,000. All depends on the person and who they called for the different quotes I got. But yeah, it's gonna be, it's gonna be by the day now. We got to see. Hopefully, let's just all hope that Omicron and sell some lottery tickets. I'm filming. So hopefully Omicron isn't very, you know, like the doctors in Africa are reporting, it's just like cold, flu. With the people vaccinated, they're taking care of themselves at home. Hopefully that's the general thing around it, and this won't be that big of a deal. You know, the news is of course hyping it up. I only have access to CNN International here, and it is the biggest shit show of a news organization. I'll turn it on and it's just like 10 minutes of sensationalism, like America is about to blow up from, you know, this new variant. And there's gonna be variants forever. This thing's never gonna stop mutating, and it mutates at like 100 times the rate of a regular virus we've seen before. So usually takes much longer, like years. This thing's mutating at a much higher rate, and they're just going to be there. And there's going to be vaccines made for each one. This isn't a like vaccine talk video either. I'm just giving the information that's out there. If you vax or don't vax, I don't care. You know, there's going to be booster shots for who knows how long, and what these virus mutations do. So that's another thing you got to be cognitive of. I probably said that wrong. Somebody will correct me. And you know, if you're anti-vaxxer, you're not going to have any kind of good time here. Every single thing you enter, you have to have a vaccine passport. Everything. The mall you go in, you got to have 2 jabs. So you're going to find it very, very, very difficult to get around here if you're if you don't want the vaccine. And then if you don't want the booster, because they're going to start rolling out the booster at the end of this month. So if you think about it, you know, here is not the place to be. No vaccine. Probably America is good for that, because it's still like your choice at the end of the day. So here it's not really choice. Everybody takes it, as we talked about the high vax rate. Again, you know, to really hit on the beginning why you should move here, it's really positioned very well in Asia to travel everywhere in Asia. It's cheap to do so. It's cheap to get rent here. It's pretty much cheap to do everything. It's cheap to eat here. You know, you can get a bowl of pho for 30, 35K, which is very affordable, you know. It used to just be $1, but now it's, you know, $1.10, $1.20. $1.50. So I mean, the food's great, the people are great, it's easy to meet women, the weather's great in my opinion. If you want to live on the beach, you can go to Da Nang, and there's lots of beach stuff to do in Da Nang, which is very fun to do. But would I be planning a trip here if I'm not getting a secured work visa or TRC card? No, I wouldn't. I would be waiting. As I've always said, that has always been my stance, is I'm in the middle of next year. I do believe if Omicron's not a big deal, you'll see a lot of countries start to open up in some capacity, like Saigon in Vietnam will be doing this month, if all goes well. And Vietnam already has. You can already travel here, you know, it's set up. It costs a lot, but it is actually there and possible. So the thing, you know, Korea was looking to do the same thing, but now they're having a huge spike in cases per day, like 5,000 or something, some crazy number. So they've kind of gone in the re-lockdown, quarantine for 10 days if you come in. You know, they've gone a lot more hardcore on the rules. Now, do I think they could do that here? Probably very possible. They could change that 7-day to 10-day or 14 if you do the tourist thing. Do I think they're going to shut everything down? Like I said, unless we get some crazy like 10, 20,000 cases per day in each city, I highly doubt it. And unless people are dying from it. You know, these manufacturers just can't take it anymore. But my target date would still be, and that might even be too soon. You know, I might be too optimistic on that, but I would say like my target date would be, you know, middle of next year at best. And I'd still play it by ball, you know. I would just mainly get my funds working, get saved up, sell all my stuff, get rid of my cars, all this stuff, you know, settle all your bills, all that good stuff, and learn some Vietnamese. You don't need to, it's not a must, but it will be easier to do some stuff. I mean, you can just point, it's very easy, but if you do learn some Viet, you'll find yourself in a little better package. For me, Vietnamese is very difficult to learn. You know, I've already learned quite a bit of Japanese and Korean, and they're just nothing alike compared to this tonal stuff. So it's not a high priority for me. But I tell you what, if I wasn't here and I had like a year before I got here, I would have definitely done some studying up on stuff instead of just watching like one guy give me a brief 15-word rundown after I was here for a couple months. So I mean, the place is awesome. Vietnam's great. Best decision I ever made still. I have no ill feelings, and I've been here 2 years now. I wouldn't go back on anything. I got an amazing wife. We have a good little family. You know, I live in a great apartment. I have almost zero complaints. Does it suck when we do this lockdown shit? Absolutely. Do I wish I could get back into the country in some sensible way since I already hold a TRC? Yes. So Omicron really threw a wrench in this stuff. You know, we just got to see what happens. It's going to change day by day. Skateboarders are back now. It's really going to change day by day. So depending on if we get cases, which I think, in my personal opinion, this virus, this new strain is probably in every country already. China and Mongolia is completely shut down, and it sounds like to me how fast it's spreading. It correlates with Omicron instead of Delta. It seems a bit faster. We're never going to know. You're never going to know any real information out of China. It's just never, ever, ever going to happen. You're never going to know any kind of real things that are happening in China, like, ever. So like, to base anything off of like what the official Chinese release, the CCP, for numbers, just, it's foolish to go by. Anything else I could think of? Let me see here. I think I covered everything I want to cover. Let's see. So I mean, yeah, the time to move here is when things are more clear. If you're trying to do like a not working visa, you're gonna wanna, you know, wait until they've laid out what their visa program's gonna be. Is it gonna be, you know, 1 year tourist visa again that needs renewed every 30 days as it sits? Or is it gonna go back to the 1 year visa with every 90 days, which makes sense, isn't hard to do. Pre-COVID was very easy to do. I'll break down how you do that. People would just go do visa runs to Cambodia. It took like, I don't know, an hour and a half to get there, hour and a half to get back. Not long. And then usually spend some time in Cambodia if you want. It used to be very easy to do. So every 90 days you just had to jump to a border and then come back, and then you were good. And even then, if you don't do that, you can just pay the penalty and you're good. You run a little bit of risk. Maybe they'll try to, you know, cancel out that the Visa card stamp thing you have, the pink paper, but usually you can just pay your way out of it. But currently now, the 30-day thing, that wouldn't work for me to come here without the uncertainty. The best bet is to have a real business if you're not going to work for someone. Pay taxes here with that business, and you can sponsor yourself. People always skip the step of just setting up, you know, a shill company, never paying taxes from it, sponsoring themselves, which can get you in trouble. I'm not a visa expert. I'm not a TRC expert. Do not look to me for any of that advice. I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. I'm just giving you my personal opinion from being here for, you know, 2 years. There's not much I don't like about Saigon, Vietnam. We're gonna keep this like a pros video, not many cons, because there isn't really many cons. You can look, I have so many videos on stuff. There's pros and cons videos, there's all that stuff. So yeah, why you should move to Vietnam, it's awesome. When the visa situation's clear. Unless you've got an expert job lined up, and then you're good to go. You're good to go. Gucci. If you want to talk more about this stuff, join the Discord. If you want to see stuff behind the scenes and, you know, early footage, deleted footage, and pure content outside of YouTube, the Patreon, I drop stuff every day now. So I'd appreciate if you signed up for Patreon. That's also a way to get direct access through me through DMs. So, but if you want to talk with other guys like us, just join the Discord. Link is in the description, same with the Patreon. So I hope that was helpful. I felt I needed to shoot that now. A lot of people ask me to shoot this. They should still be planning for now. I'm still sticking to my timeline. If Omicron isn't bad, Omicron, whatever, I think you'll still see some easement in Asia in January, and then probably around June, July, you'll start to see more of a normal way of getting in and being able to come in and out of the country. Currently, you can't get really out of the country and come back in without repeating that process I said. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. To anybody new watching, thanks for watching. I have all kinds of information videos like this. We do food review videos, walking videos, everything that you can do, I do on my channel. So after I can travel again, we'll be going to all different countries and taking a look at how it goes there. So, all right, guys, stay frosty. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace out.